Welcome to another episode of the Rugged Homestead. We're out in the food forest, and today I'm going to be planting a new peach tree. I picked up the peach tree at Home Depot. It's really just something more of a whip, but that'll be fine for our purposes. Hey, they were actually pretty inexpensive, $20. So I wanted a third peach tree for my little intensive planting spot here, and I figured out it was a good deal to get. So I'll show you how I'm going about doing this intensive planting and how to plant the peach tree and then prune it as well. This peach tree is a Contender peach, and it's really cold hardy, grows well in northern climates. I'm here in northern New Jersey, zone 7A. So when this peach is good for temperatures that can go below zero, and we regularly do that. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is hydrate the roots on this bare root plant. It's got a little bit of soil in here. But I'm going to take it out of this bag. I'm going to cut it out of the bag so I don't damage the roots. And I'm going to let it soak in the water until to let the roots rehydrate. And just to show you what the root system looks like on a bare root plant, goes pretty deep here. So that's about as deep as you need the hole to be. You don't want it to go you don't need to go any more than that. And these little side roots here, they go out, and that's going to be a good size hole. Might trim this off just a little bit. There's no problem with trimming off a root on the plants. So we're going to take this and just stick it in the bucket. And we can let it sit there for upwards of an hour. But in the meantime, we're going to be digging our hole right here. So what I'm going to do is pull back the wood chips from here and expose the soil. Now, as you can see, I've got a peach tree here and a peach tree there. They're all within about 18 inches of one another. And for an intensive planting like that, that's okay. This allows you to get more yield in a smaller area. Now I've had this area covered in wood chips for well over a year, and it really makes it easy to dig the soil up. Now I'm saving this soil that I'm digging out of the hole, putting it into a wheelbarrow, and I'm going to mix it with some organic matter, some peat moss, and a little bit of compost, just to give it the ground some good nutrition to dig into. And I'm seeing roots here from these other trees, so being careful around them. In doing intensive planting like this, it's really best to do all the plantings all at once, so you're not disturbing the roots of the other trees as they've made their place in the ground. Just testing out the hole here just to see on the depth, and as you can see, this is the graft, and you want the ground to be about 2 to 3 inches below that. So this hole is pretty good right there. And now I can mix up the soil and put it in. All I'm doing is just taking some peat moss and making it about a 1-to-1 ratio with the existing soil. And I'm taking some well-rotted compost here, and I'll mix it all together. A technique I see more and more people recommend these days is to scuff up the edges of the hole so that they're not so smooth, and that way it allows the roots to more easily break through the soil and not wrap themselves around the hole. I'm just taking a dibble, I'm coming in and just breaking up the sides of the hole. But as we can see with the roots that are already in here, they're having no trouble breaking through this soil. This is nice, really rich, loamy soil, and they're able to get through very easily. Okay, so I'm going to take the tree and position it as I want it, making sure it's erect. And now I'm just going to take some soil and throw it in there. I'm just going to firm up the soil here. And now I'm going to add some more soil to the hole. Make sure we've got a couple of inches below the graft, and that way the roots will grow from the rootstock and not from the grafted plant. I'll give it some time to drain and then pour more water in. That'll displace all the air bubbles in the soil. Now that the water has seeped into the ground, I'm going to cover up the area again. Kodak, no. I'm going to cover up the ground again with the wood chips. Now that the tree is planted, this is where the scary part comes. I could just leave it as is, but it's not going to be particularly well shaped because the growth here is all basically vertical, and I want to encourage a more cup-shaped growth pattern. So what I'm going to do, you've got buds all along here, so what I'm going to do is to come in here and at a 45-degree angle, cut it off. That should now encourage growth to come out the sides of the plant. Some scary stuff though, just cutting off your plant. But what would happen is if this started to fruit and then got weighed down, these branches would end up breaking off in here just from the weight. I mean, it's not going to fruit for a couple of years yet. So this is the time to train it to get the right shape that you want. My new peach twig, and hopefully in a few years it'll be producing some really nice fruit. This year I'm still expecting some good fruit off of these peach trees. These have been in here now about 3 years or so, and as I've mentioned, they had fruit on it last year, but they all fell off. So I'm hoping this year they'll maintain their shape. Okay, if you like what you see, give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel if you don't already do so. And hit that alarm button, and that way you'll be notified right away when videos like this are posted. All right, thanks for watching.